Do you like light? Do you like darkness? Do you like Gambit? If you do, then you're in the right place. Follow me, and you'll find yourself in a world of ambiguous questions and most likely in the middle of a horde of taken enemies that want to rip your soul from your body in ways that you don't want to think of. So click on that Legends tab, load up your favorite slow jazz playlist, and jump through the portal in front of you and now that you're awake, at the end of this room you'll see a dark pillar and a light pillar. You need to collect Gambit Modes of light and darkness to progress here. The way you do that is by standing in the light and stealing a Taken Knight's lunch money for light modes, and standing in the shadow and making fun of a Taken Knight's objectively terrible music taste for dark modes. You need 5 total modes of each affinity to get the magic mote you need to step on a plate, and click your shoot button to unleash your inner demons and deactivate the respective plate you're standing on. Light for light, dark for dark. Once you've done this in a few rooms, the final boss is going to make an appearance and try to appeal to your better nature. Prove it wrong, and chase it through the halls and you'll find yourself at the real first encounter of the dungeon, the Phalanx Echo. For this encounter, you're going to be combining literally everything from the first few rooms and trying to survive waves of taken scions and knights trying to forcefully reintroduce you with the void. This time there's 4 plates, so kill the knight, grab the motes, bank those motes, and once all 4 plates are done, you can now damage the asshole with the shield. If you want to be really effective here, you can do a little trick I learned back in the days of vanilla Destiny 2. Just use your primary for boss DPS. The damage phase lasts long enough anyways, and even then, you should be able to file your taxes, finish your law degree, and lose your first case before the damage phase for this boss is over. If for some reason the boss still has health, do it over again, and this time you can actually use whatever you want for DPS, besides Darcy. If I catch any single one of you using Darcy on this boss, I will personally come over to your place of residence and delete Darcy from your inventory myself. Once you've taken the Phalanx Echo to the Shadow Realm, hop into the center of the arena with all the glowy pink stuff with all your teammates. Once you're into the next room, congratulations, you're now the proud owners of your very own extremely hostile situation. Giant invisible taken minotaurs are scattered throughout the area, and you have to either follow Toland, this little ball of paracausality, to where you need to go, or just wander around until you find a couple taken blights that you need to destroy. Deal with the enemies accordingly, and again either follow Toland or wander around to the next blight fest until you see some text pop up in the bottom left that says the way is open. Once you see that, go ahead and make your way to one of the sides of the room. You may need to do some more wandering until you find an open door like this so you can proceed to the next encounter. Welcome to the Sphere encounter. In this encounter, you'll become very familiar with Toland as he is the key to finishing this encounter. Wherever he is, you want to look on the ground for the moat dunking plate, and whatever it is, you want to match that plate when the knights spawn. If for whatever reason Toland is chilling at the top of this very sharp sphere, you'll want to look at the plates. Pick which one gives your brain the happy chemicals and complete that one. Once you've done the right plate, the plate in the center begins to glow, so walk into it and be lifted up by the spirit of your unending hatred for sharp spheres. Once you've done this enough times, you'll find yourself in the toughest boss fight in Destiny history, so make sure you don't pull punches and actually use the 2% of your brain that actually functions to sneeze in the general direction of each boss in order to get that W. I hope you like Mario Kart, because once you walk through the tunnel that just opened up, you're going to be thrown face first into Rainbow Road. Make sure you select the fastest kart and the best character, it's Rosalina, by the way, and make your way down to the winding road floating above a void of infinite nothingness. If you fall off, that's just a skill issue, so just be better at driving your Sparrow. Once you make your way down to the last platform, make sure to Sparrow Boost into it to bring your beloved vehicle with you into the final encounter. Once you get up to the top here, pretend to be the Doomslayer and take on the army of Thrall approaching you at Mock Jesus. Once you reach the end of this hallway, grab your favorite pool noodle and trash can lid to prepare yourself for the final boss, the Kel Echo. During this fight, you have 3 light or dark spots that show up again. Once you finish one of the spots, an Ogre Major will spawn. Kill it so you don't have it running you down while you're trying to play mail carrier and escorting the rest of the motes to their respective spots. Once you get all 3 nice and settled in their spots, run towards the middle, reload your fists, and get ready to pump as many bullets, rockets, and grenades as you can into the boss in front of you. Ignore the hobgoblins, they'll never kill you, and chase the boss down since it's going to run like the little bitch it is. Stay in close proximity in the circle around the boss since it punishes being a passive-aggressive asshole taking pot shots with Whisper the Worm in the back of the arena. Make use of your anger issues and unleash your unbridled caffeine-induced rage onto the boss with the force of a scorpion tank round being shot into a single grunt. Once the boss reaches the end of the run and perches itself on the last platform, lay into it a little bit more until it teleports away and cries for help. Enter the pink mist at the top of the stairs and head back down into another arena. Do the same thing, and once you kill the boss, you can now proudly say that you've learned the nature of the darkness.